Hey everyone, I'll be covering all of the Nintendo Switch's games announced for the third week of May, so let's get started. The sequel to the critically acclaimed horror phenomenon, Layers of Fear 2, is a first-person psychological horror game that puts you in the shoes of a Hollywood actor aboard an ocean liner. With the emphasis on exploration and storytelling, your past is a bit murky, but you'll be required to make use of some skills to scrape and claw your way to survival by any means necessary. Darkness is all around you, and your only constant in this black dreary world is finding an escape. Toy Soldiers HD is a complete overhaul of the original, with new and never seen before content, enhanced higher definition visuals, improved camera controls, new sounds, brand new characters to engage with, and all of the previously available DLC. This Xbox Live Arcade classic is all about strategic tower defense action as a third-person perspective that will offer a single-player and multiplayer feature of robust options so you can tackle it however you want, alone or with friends. Outbreak Endless Nightmares is all about new roguelike twist on the Outbreak series, while still maintaining the traditional survivor horror gameplay. Replayability is boosted with the use of dynamic difficulties, semi-procedurally generated anomalies, alongside new items, new lore, new puzzle types, and plenty of blood-starved fiends. Choose to scavenge for supplies, uncover clues, or just see how many headshots you can amass in one specific run. Each round plays out depending on what you're looking for to get out of it. The re-release of the beloved console classic is nearly here with Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, launching very soon. This action RPG plunges players into the heart of the conflict where looting, leveling, customizing, and betraying those closest to you is just the start. Explore massive story arcs through the cities, dungeons, and wilderness of this popular world, remastered for current-gen consoles offering full local co-op options. Set sail and join the colonial powers of Spain, England, France, and many more as they fight for supremacy of the 17th century Caribbean oceans. Control of colony and learn how to make it grow from a small settlement to a big bustling trader port city. Develop production chains, complete trade routes, and expand into the mainland itself with your newfound fame and fortunes when Port Royale 4 launches on May 28th. The year is 2100 and the world has basically gone to hell. Corruption runs rampant, corporations have their finger on just about every aspect of your life, and as an artist you'll have the freedom to express your creative muscle and design beautiful tattoo patterns, be it synthetically or in natural human skin. Work hard to expand your shop and make a name for yourself in the dystopian reality of tattoo punk. After a bit of a back and forth, Akiba's trip, Hellbound and Debriefed, is finally confirmed for launch on July 20th on the Nintendo Switch. And Xseed has confirmed that a collector's edition as well as a basic physical version will be available as well. Return to the properly modeled Akiba circa 2011 as the seedy underworld lurks with a brand new vampire menace that's not only out for blood but something a little bit more raunchy as well, in this silly over-the-top action RPG. Make your way through maze-like levels destroying hordes of enemies with your monstrous abilities. Combine the destructive powers of your symbiotic claws with fast, sharp, and fluid movement that will have you becoming an indestructible god under the right circumstances. Exodemon makes full use of retro visuals with fast old-school feel of first-person games of yesteryears. Created for the fishing enthusiast and all of us, Ultimate Fishing Simulator 2 is a direct sequel to the original, hoping to improve on it in just about every way possible. Starting with 2 brand new game modes where you can play as with others, then improving on the visuals, the total amount of fish that you can capture, a wide array of new mechanics that will make pulling on that line a much more engaging endeavor. Your skills will define your fate in Aluna, Sentinels of the Shards, an Inca mythology-based action RPG with fast combat and a wide array of weapon abilities and enemies to punish. Combine your spells, evasion skills, and weapon maneuverability to dish out punishing damage to large groups of persistent enemies out for your blood. Travel through perilous and dark-tainted environments that have never seen before by the eyes of man. According to Outright Games, Hotel Transylvania Scary Tale Adventures will take players into a fairy tale journey, putting them in control of their favorite characters as they reimagine classic stories like Red Riding Hood, The Emperor's New Clothes, and many more, in an all-new 3D platforming puzzle game set to the animated movie franchise launching this Halloween. In Luminoe, players take the role of Glimmer, a deep-sea elf who yearns to restore the former beauty of his home. He is called by the light to break the dark spell casting over the world. Along the way, he will find the answers to the puzzles to some of the questions that he holds very dear. Glimmer will need to overcome trials of wisdom and tap into his courage in order to save the world, himself, and his family. My Singing Monsters Playground has players taking control of their favorite monsters as you compete in tournaments of monster game madness, set across various locations from the world of My Singing Monsters. Players are able to explore their favorite islands for the very first time as they come to life in an immersive 3D world, with 3 different game modes and over 20 different games to compete in. Discover 5 different campaigns of varying difficulties as you attempt to figure out a web of events that connect them all together in Pathway. Make tough choices and handcrafted events that will shift the narrative and the purpose of your adventure in decisive conflicts between your team of adventurers and those who choose to oppose them. The 16-bit JRPG-inspired adventure puzzler that combines some interesting ideas from the SNES Classic and the PlayStation eras with modern sensibilities. Battle monsters in a unique puzzle arena using the powers of fallen blocks to your attacks. In a world where ancient powers are the norm, you must seek out the answers to possess the unraveling mystery left only for you to decipher. For the first time since the Virtual Console days, both Lucasfilm classic games Zombie Ate My Neighbors and Ghoul Patrol are getting a re-release on the Nintendo Switch eShop on June 29th. It seems like third-party publishers have realized that their classic back catalog can be sold standalone once again without the need of Nintendo, so they're seizing on the opportunity and doing just that. Dariusburst, another Chronicle EX Plus, is the latest iteration of the awesome Darebust series, which started all the way back in 2009 on the PSP, with gorgeous 3D graphics and additional features to expand on the arcade version from 2010. All of the arcade features on the original game plus several new elements will be included when it releases on June 11th. As a newly divorcee, you've been left unemployed, penniless, and even homeless. However, socialite kings living in the top floor of a luxurious apartment building have hired you to be their housekeeper in Kings of Paradise, a visual novel from Voltage Inc. set to launch on May 27th. Master the challenges that you'll be trusted upon as you manage the space between you and your ammo while fighting your way through the digestive system. Descend deep into the gut, keep your ammo close, unlock new hats and make your derelict escape like no other in randomly generated dungeons with plenty of enemies to dispose of. Elementallis is a 2D top-down adventure mimicking the style and feel of classic 2D Zelda games. Explore a vast world and conquer the dungeons as you restore all the elements and use them to solve puzzles, defeat your foes, and progress your adventure. Prove your worth in 8 dungeons full of puzzles, secrets, and enemies when it launches next year. Recalling the look of 16-bit action classics, Trigger Witch puts the ultra-violent spin on cute and colorful pixel art. Explore, puzzle solve, and twin-stick shoot like never before with a vast variety of enemies to blast into tiny pieces as you explore an open world and earn new upgrades to amass a rather powerful armament at your disposal. Fire, Ungh's Quest is an explorative adventure game set in the Stone Age, where you follow a Neanderthal on his very important quest to find fire. His task is to redeem himself to the village, so he has to find a new flame to rekindle and their trust within him at the same time, that will take him to some wacky places and meet some rather eccentric characters. Tucker the Racoon may be cute, but the challenges he faces aren't up for the faint of heart. Master tight controls for precise platforming, teleporting over large gaps and traps, or even through walls in certain occasions, as you explore over 50 stages to unlock new outfits and neat secrets for this furry critter. And that's what the Game announcers will be covering this week. Another week when Nintendo kinda went silent, and honestly I'm a bit surprised that so many of the E3 participants or E3 adjacent participants have remained silent. We know that IGN will be hosting their Summer of Game things, as well as Jeff Keighley, trying to take away some attention from E3, but they've all remained rather silent with their plans as well. It's almost as if they're all waiting to see who makes their plans public first so they could undercut them whenever possible, which is kinda pathetic to be quite honest. I also recently put out a slew of brand new reviews for a couple of games that I was asked to check out, so I would love some feedback from you guys if you are able to check them out. I'm not necessarily sure what type of games my viewership will necessarily want me to review, since I usually only take some games that interest me when they offer me a review code, so I'm not necessarily sure what my viewers actually want to see, but I am a little bit picky when it comes to accepting some review offers. I would like some feedback as to what you guys actually want me to check out in the future, and perhaps maybe some better titles that aren't necessarily just indie focused. So definitely do leave some feedback in those reviews if you are able to check them out. If you're brand new to my channel, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya!